Hi, I'm Kim. Each month, millions of gigs of unused data are taken back by wireless companies. Tragic.
But not so tragic for Kim Kardashian following this ad. During Super Bowl 49, the reality star, as expected, a big hit on social media last night, but she didn't land the #1 spot. So the question is, who did? Hey everyone, I'm Dan Kleffler in New York. Right now we're breaking down the ads that not only scored big with the viewers last night, but also lit up the internet. And for that, I want to go to CEO, founder of iSpot.tv, Sean Muller. Sean, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So listen, 61 commercials playing out during the Super Bowl last night. Now, they're not only resonated with the viewers during the game, but they also, social media played a big impact as far as getting their popularity out there, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So,
So I guess the thing is, before we reveal the top big picks then, how do you measure the response then on these ads? What are the metrics?
Yeah, so good question. So iSpot has software that tracks advertising on television in a completely automated manner. So we know every ad when it airs across 100 plus networks. And then we look at the digital response to the ad across a variety of digital platforms. So we look at online video views across YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms. We look at the social media conversation on Twitter and Facebook, and then we look at search volumes for the ad. So we look at the earned digital activity that results from ads airing on television.
So what's the demographic overlap then between those that watch Super Bowl and those that spend most of their time on social media?
Well, Super Bowl is a unique sort of TV event where really you have 110 million people viewed into the broadcast. So with 110 million people viewing the broadcast, it's a very, very wide demographic. But of course, on social media, it does skew towards the younger demographic, 18 to 35-year-old.
Okay, so here are then the top Super Bowl spots according to iSpot.tv. And this coming in at #1 for a third year in a row, Budweiser.
Yes. So Budweiser came in at #1, although it was a much, much tighter race this year than it was in previous years. So we saw Budweiser set some unprecedented really numbers in terms of online views of the ad. So we saw about 45 million views of the ad thus far through end of day yesterday, and we believe that's going to continue to rise today. What we thought was interesting this year is about 60% of the views of the Budweiser ad actually occurred on Facebook, whereas in previous Super Bowls, pretty much 100% of the online views occurred on YouTube. So that's sort of one big trend that we saw this year. But the other one, of course, is people love the emotional bond between the puppy and the horse. And now this is the third year that Budweiser is running sort of an ad in this series, and it's a home run for them. So they're continuing to build on their momentum of previous years.
Okay,
so
another big popular one coming in at #2, Always Like a Girl. How'd this do?
Yeah, that's right. So Always Like a Girl is actually not a new campaign. So this is a campaign that the P&G launched back in October, which was primarily a digital campaign, but it really caught fire on social media right as it was airing during the Super Bowl. It really sent a flurry of tweets and posts. Really, a lot of people actually were mocking the ad a little bit, and so then there was a big backlash against people that were mocking it. But then everybody really just got on the sort of the bandwagon, if you will, and you saw even a lot of brands were tweeting like a girl. So, for example, I think JetBlue tweeted a picture of two female pilots that said "Fly like a girl." So you really saw that ad really, really take off on social media in a big way. So it was a close #2.
All right, close number 2. What about, okay, number 3? Because, Kim Kardashian, we played the spot at the very top of this, then she's got 25 million followers on Facebook. 720,000 liked the new ad. She came in 9th, though, not number 3.
Yeah, so that doesn't mean that it didn't do well. You have to remember there's 100 ads, competing for a consumer's attention. So yeah, there was mixed feelings about the Kim Kardashian ad. It was one of those ads where people either loved it or hated it. There was sort of no in between. So it still got quite a bit of chatter, and it was released early online. And the fact that Kim Kardashian tweeted it out to her followers and posted it definitely gave that spot a momentum. If it wasn't for that, it probably wouldn't have even come in potentially that high.
Okay, so Nationwide's commercial then obviously got a lot of reaction. It did not make the top 10. It didn't also air before the Super Bowl, though. It is trending heavily. This is just some of it.
Hey, wait! Guys, wait! Wait! I'll never learn to ride a bike. Or get cooties. I'll never learn to fly. Or travel the world with my best friend. And I won't ever get married. I couldn't grow up.
Sean, how'd it do during the game?
So that ad actually did phenomenally well, and even though you don't see it in the top 10, it's just outside of that. And actually, one of the reasons you don't see it in the top 10 is our measurement is based on both online views of the ad and also the social chatter. From a social chatter perspective, this ad was top 5. So there was a lot of chatter about this ad. It was this ad obviously had a very sombering message. A lot of people thought it was a little bit of a buzzkill during the game, and it was obviously a very impactful ad.
And then what about this ad? This was not featured before the game. This was Breaking Bad's Bryan Cranston. Take a look.
Hi.
My doctor called in a prescription?
Yes.
You're not Greg.
I'm sort of Greg. We're both over 50 years old. We both used to own a Pontiac Aztek. We both have a lot of experience with drugs. Sorry, pharmaceuticals. So, say my name.
Sort of Greg.
Esurance helps make sure you only pay for what's right for you.
Okay, so how'd that do?
So actually that spot rated fairly low in terms of the social chatter that was around that ad and also the online views. And one of the reasons could be that ad was not released early online.
Okay, so does it seem that there's a correlation between those companies and those ads that did well not airing before the Super Bowl?
There is definitely a correlation, but it's not a must. So if you look at that Nationwide spot, that was not released early either, and that got quite a bit of chatter. But as a general rule, the brands that released their ads on digital several days before the game, and especially those that released the video natively on Facebook, tended to do extremely well.
Another successful Super Bowl in the book and track there, Sean Miller. Sean, thank you so much. Appreciate it. You can keep up to date as these commercials will continue trending in real time by downloading the ABC News app and starring the story for exclusive updates on the go. For now, I'm Dan Kleffler in New York.